Welcome back, wrestling fans, to another live edition of PWF is War Podcast Wrestling Fallout. We are the Bullet Club of online wrestling discussion. So without further ado, let me introduce one half of the team. He is the original host. He's the real deal. He's Captain Awesome.
Yes, we're here, guys. The epic intro last video was just remarkable. Thank you, fans, for liking that. Maybe the bad guy, Captain Awesome, will return. We have to see about that. But yep, I'm leaving my guy, my homie, to host tonight. I'm taking the back seat. Paul can do Adrian Wolf can do a good job as me. We'll see how he rolls tonight. But if you want to follow me, if you're fans of Captain Awesome, follow me on Twitter at Captain3Awesome. Better do it now and subscribe. If you don't, Captain Awesome Edge will come back.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe because nobody wants bad news from Captain Awesome. As you guys know, this is our 68th episode. This is our Smackdown review from August 1st, 2014. I am the host tonight, Paul Jazer, as you know, a.k.a. the Arabian Wolf. And we're going to jump right into it. Before we do, though, make sure you guys subscribe to our channel on YouTube, Podcast Wrestling Fallout. Follow us on Twitter at PWF is War. Join the group, like our page on Facebook, Podcast Wrestling Fallout. We're going to jump right into it. I thought it was a very mediocre SmackDown. It had its ups and downs, to say the least. But I still enjoyed it, for the most part. We start the show off with a little bit of a budding rivalry of sorts. They have prior history with each other and very recent. So we had Cesaro versus Jack Swagger opening the show, and I honestly thought it was a pretty good match. A little upsetting to see Cesaro take the loss once again, but I'm not going to combat it with Jack Swagger getting his push at the same time. So it's kind of like a good and bad thing. But I'm all for Swagger winning. He needs to look strong going into the flag match with Rusev, which we would find out seconds later. Jack Swagger did win with the Patriot Lock. Later on, we had Rusev come out with Lana. They offered the challenge, and Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter accepted. So 2014. Overall, enjoyed the match. I thought it had a good pace. Swagger winning with the Patriot Lock was I kind of expected to make him look strong going into the pay-per-view showing. So I'm not gonna argue it. But Cesaro losing numerous times in the last month, it's really starting to bother me. I wouldn't say he's buried. People overthrow the term, but it's starting to get a little bit old, in my opinion. So I'm hoping there is some type of long-term thing building with Heyman and intertwine Lesnar into it. That's the only way it's going to bring him out of this funk that he's in. But Adam, what do you think about the opening match in the segment with Zeb Coulter and Jack Swagger accepting the flag match?
Yeah, it started off, as you said, the segment was really good. I'm liking this, this We the People, the feud with Rusev. It's really getting the people interested. You see, it's controversial what Rusev and Lana are saying, but I'm loving it. The good segment. The match itself was Swagger versus Cesaro. I thought it was a good start, good match. Yeah, I enjoyed it. They had some hit. They've got history, of course. They were in the Real Americans, the Real Americans tag team. They never won the tag team titles. I wish they did. They deserved to, but it didn't happen. But they were, together. They got history, and I was really shocked. Cesaro lost again. I mean, he lost. He tapped out. He tapped out from the Patriot Lock, as you said. Didn't see that coming. But I can see why Swagger won, because they're pushing him to be strong heading into SummerSlam against Rusev in a flag pole match. That's going to be quite an interesting match. It's been a long time since I see a flag pole match. And I feel, like I said, I feel sorry for Cesaro because I'm a big fan of his, and him losing every week out is upsetting and sad to see, because he deserves a lot better. He's so talented as a wrestler. He should be up there in the main event even. But he's not. I don't know what's going on with what's going to happen with him. What's the direction they're going with? But he's not getting buried. No, I wouldn't say he's getting buried. He's only been a few losses. We'll see near the end of the year if he still keep losing. Then we'll see. Maybe he could be buried. But at the moment, he's not buried. No, I disagree with that. But overall, good start, good match. But yeah, hopefully Cesaro, they got a direction for him. Maybe there was rumours about him and Heyman. I think apparently they're going to team up again, managing him. But we'll see. And facing Brock Lesnar. So we'll see.
That's the outcome everyone's really hoping for. But I really like the concept of the flag match, and the reason being is going into the match, they both have great momentum, and so much heat on Lana, so much heat on Rusev, and Swagger's more over than ever, along with Zeb Coulter being the mouthpiece. And I really think this is booking 101. I think they booked it great. I think the build-up is good, and going into a flag match. Let me elaborate real quick. It's kind of good because no matter who wins, really, no one's getting pinned, no one's getting submitted. It's purely based on whoever grabs that flag is the winner. So going out of this match, no matter if Rusev wins, no matter if Swagger wins, they will both still carry the same momentum out of that match that they carried into it. So I'm interested to see what direction they decide to go in. I'm sure it's not going to end. I'm sure it's just going to get even better after SummerSlam. So I'm interested to see the outcome. What do you think? I think it's a great idea to do a flag match instead of just a regular match and squashing it, because the fans' emotional investment in this is through the roof. I would never expect them to get a reaction like this and so much investment.
Yeah, I agree. As you said, it's been a long time since I've seen the flag match, and as you said, no one can get pinned or submitted. So you lose by just by picking up the flag and won. So if Swagger won, it wouldn't be it wouldn't affect Rusev because he didn't got pinned or got tapped out. So
right.
I think that they could do that. They could have Swagger win at SummerSlam, keep building up, and then eventually Rusev will get his rematch and from there. But if Rusev loses at SummerSlam, it won't affect him at all. No. I think it's a perfect match, as both guys are waving the USA flag, Swagger, and Rusev is waving the Russian flag, even though he's from Bulgaria. But it's all good. Yeah, I think it's the right decision, and I think it could be a really good match. Actually,
yeah.
I'd be disappointed if it won.
It's going to be a good match. The reaction they've started. Yeah. But the emotion the fans reacted to when it first started, this is all cheap heat, but it's being played so well that it's actually turning more than that. It's transitioning into real heat on them, and they're bringing politics into this. They're bringing the integrity of the United States. And fans aren't going to have that. Of course they're not. We're Americans. We're gonna rebel. So it's a pretty cool thing to see. I didn't expect it to be as big as it was. I know tonight Jack Swagger first came out, they popped like crazy. And it didn't pop like crazy. I thought it was cool to hear the Real American theme hit, especially opposing to versus Russia. But I don't know. It's different than I thought it would be. It's definitely impressed me. I can't wait to see the outcome. And like we said, coming out of this match, either way, they're going to look strong unless they do decide to squash it there, which I find hard to believe though, considering it's a flag match and it wouldn't make much sense at the end of it.
No. I mean, as you said, this is Swagger's big moment now. He's been a company for years, and this is the biggest reaction he's got, and he's getting this, we the people, that quote, and it's over with the crowd. The crowd's interested in him, and it's like, it's not like Kurt Angle reaction, but he's like the American hero, you know what I mean? And he's here to save the day, and saying that. Russia sucks,
Exactly, and I'm sure you could agree that, on paper, this does look like the dark horse match of SummerSlam. But as far as quality goes, I think they're gonna come close. They have a chance to do really well. They have the potential to put on a great match. And
oh, for sure.
Hard, so it's gonna be hard to compete with the top match or two. But I'm sure these guys have the charisma, they have the potential, they have the showmanship inside of them somewhere. And
yeah.
Move on to the next thing. You're all good?
No,
Randy.
I think
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I said no. You was really fast there. Yeah,
no, please.
No. Just go on with it. Go on.
Be my guest.
No, it's okay. Yes. It's okay. You can have. I do with it after.
All right. Move on. If Randy Orton comes out, Randy Orton comes out afterwards after we give every promotion. He cuts a promo on Roman Reigns, challenges him to a match at SummerSlam. And I don't know, some fans might be biased, and I always liked Randy Orton since day one, no matter how dull he got. But I honestly thought that was a decent promo and a good showing by him. We haven't seen a little bit of fire in him in a long time, and I am happy to see him starting to slowly break away from the authority and playing the lackey, the lapdog, the bitch, so to speak, in the relationship with Evolution and moving forward when they recruited Seth Rollins. But I've been saying it for like the last year. Why is Oregon stuck in such a shitty role? You know, he doesn't have to be in the title picture, but this guy knows what he's doing, and he's solid in the ring. So I'm waiting for him to break away, and I'm happy that it's slowly starting to take place. But yeah, he did come out. He cut a promo, and I thought it was a decent promo. And challenges Roman Reigns to a match at SummerSlam. What's your take on that, Adam?
Yeah, I thought, you know, you can say what you want about Randy Orton. He's talented. Yeah, he's been boring, but when he's in that ring, he delivers, and I don't mind Randy Orton at all. I think he does deliver. He has delivered good promos in the past. I thought this one on SmackDown was decent. You know, he did it well. He delivered it, and you know, he's challenging Roman Reigns versus at SummerSlam. I think that match could be a great match. It could be one of those matches that could steal the show, to be honest with you. It will help Roman Reigns' career, but it will also help Randy Orton as well at the same time, because I think he's lost a bit of this prestige of his. You know, he's with the authority. He's been taking that. You know, he's been taking that seat back. He's not been the most focused guy out of the authority. He's just been mostly Triple H and Stephanie and Kane, I guess. Not Randy Orton. You know, he needs to go on his own again. I think as the real Viper. I think, and I think it could be a really good match, and we'll see where it goes. I mean,
yeah,
I think after that,
it definitely could, and I think it'll work for him.
Yeah. I was going to say after that, I think maybe you will see that Triple H versus Roman Reigns match, but I don't know when. I think it should be about Survivor Series time. I would put it. Yeah, see, because I don't think it should be a night of champions. I don't think that's the caliber of that pay-per-view. It shouldn't be on that pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's more or less a mediocre pay-per-view. I don't think they would have a match that big on it unless it was the main focal point.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, good stuff. See.
But yeah, afterwards, after the promo, we found out that it was going to be Dean Ambrose in a handicap match later on versus Seth Rollins and Kane. And, you know, most people already knew how that was going to turn out, but it added a little twist to it. But following that, we come back, and it's actually R-Truth in a rematch against Bo Dallas. R-Truth being the one who conquered Bo's streak, unfortunately. I know I wish it could have been a guy higher of a caliber. But I got to tell you, man, they had a quick match, and, you know, it ended up Bo Dallas losing via disqualification because he didn't break the ref's 5 count. And afterwards, you know, he was really sour about it, and he doesn't care about losing anymore. Now he's just about beating them down to a pulp and just making them look like fucking complete fools. You know, I honestly thought he did good, and I've said it since day one. You know, everyone hated him. They thought it was ridiculous. It was stupid, and I was like, it is pretty stupid. He seems like a troll, more or less a troll than anything else.
Yeah.
But there was always something. There was like something there, and I couldn't point it out. I couldn't put my finger on it. But there's a piece to the puzzle that was missing, and I think it's slowly starting to shine through. If you notice, the last two weeks, he's actually been evoking a reaction, and I don't want to hear that was edited because it's on Raw too. He got a reaction, and it was very negative, and it was a giant boo, and it worked, and it happened again on SmackDown. This one could have been edited, who knows? But you know, the one on Raw is as real as it gets. But you know, I really think he's starting to evoke a reaction and slowly starting to understand who his character is and the direction he wants to develop it in and what he wants to do with it. But what did you think of the quick match and the overall beatdown and the progression of Bo Dallas as a character? He's doing good. He's not doing good, but he's doing all right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the character itself, he's be honest, I'm not a fan of his, but he's doing really well with it. And you know, we could say he's at first, he's stupid. This is not going to work. He's not going to get a reaction out of this, you know. But slowly, for a few weeks, he's getting some sort of reaction. You know, it's not big reaction, no, but he's getting that reaction you need, and then eventually he probably get a much booer reaction. And I mean, when I think R-Truth beat him on Raw, you know, when he beat the streak, you got that pop, you know, and it's I mean, you know, Bo Dallas, he's doing it well, and he beat he lost against R-Truth again, by no DQ. You know, he got disqualified. You know, but he's got an angry streak about him. He got pissed off. You know, R-Truth was the guy who broke the streak. You know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't choose him, but, because he's been treated for how many long as a jobber. I can't take him seriously anymore. It's WWE's fault. But I was surprised that he lost them all. But Bo Dallas, he's getting a bit that reaction you need, and see what happens to him. What's next for him? I'm sure. I think the R-Truth. I think he's now feuding with R-Truth now. I don't think it's the end.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, I was on the fence about why would they choose R-Truth, but then at the same time, they made it look like, well, R-Truth beat him, and then it makes it show on Bo Dallas' part that he was overconfident, and he was arrogant, regardless of how he reacts to winning or not, and whether people take it positive or negative is their own preference and their own opinion. But they made him look overconfident, and that's why I think he did lose to R-Truth, and now it's going to bring out that crybaby, loser, so to speak, kind of like Jericho lost when he was a bad guy, and he would just flip out, or like when he got fired, and he just fucking they carried him kicking and screaming out of the arena. I think that's the mindset they're going with this character. Will it work? Well, it's slowly catching on. He's starting to grow on people here and there. So yeah, for his age, it does have longevity, depending on how they evolve the character and work off of it. But we're gonna see what happens. In my opinion, Adam Rose is a total flop, and Bo Dallas exceeds him.
I have to agree with that. Yeah, I definitely have to agree with that.
32. Bo Dallas is 22, and he's already outperforming him.
Well, he's actually 34. Actually, he's older
34. Okay, let's add 2 more years to that list.
Yeah. He's not.
Worse. Sorry, Rosebuds. PWF is war. We're all lemons.
Lemons for life. Yeah.
LWO. Lemon World Order. Quick shout out. But,
shout out. Yeah.
Any last thoughts on Bo Dallas' progression in general before we move on to the next match?
Just he's probably changing my mind about him a little bit, like how he's progressing as a character. Maybe not the matches itself, but as a character himself, he's doing really well with it, and he's got some aggressive streak as well about him a little bit. It was a good beatdown against R-Truth, but I actually thought maybe like Xavier Woods and Big E and Kofi would help R-Truth for some reason. I thought they would have come out and help him, and then he could join their group.
I think Mark Henry will be the last guy. I think it's going to be a 4-man team.
Yeah, well, you could have Titus O'Neil in it, but he's now with Heath Slater, a new tag team, so maybe that's not going to happen. So I don't know. We have to see how it plays out. But I would have R-Truth, and Mark Henry in that group as well. Even Titus O'Neil.
I'm just interested to see what direction they're going to go in with this, because it's one of those things that it could work and it could be good, but one little mistake and it's going to be their biggest downfall. I'm interested to see how they're going to do with it. It's really on the edge. They got to be careful with their next play, and I'm sure they're going to be heels, so it's going to be different seeing Kofi as a heel.
First time ever in his career, so yeah. Exactly.
Even when he did his work in TNA, he was always a face.
So, yeah. So.
But any last thoughts before we move on?
No, that's it. Carry on.
Alright, we're going to move forward, and our next match was actually AJ Lee versus Rosa Mendes, and this was like a 5-second match. I think,
yeah.
I can't remember. I think Rosa pushed her, and then AJ Lee just literally put her in the Black Widow, and she tapped instantly. AJ Lee, grabbed her title, celebrated, walked up towards the ramp, turned around, held the title in there. The cliche thing for a champion to do before exiting an arena. And, but what happens? Paige comes out, runs up behind her, and literally pushes her off the stage. AJ rolls right into the cameraman on the floor over by the ring barrier. But, it was what it was. It was a decent fall, I guess. She sold it well for, the little push that she was given, I guess. But, word coming out of it is that AJ Lee was injured from it, and I think they're going to play off an injury storyline. She's definitely not hurt at all. I can tell by the way she landed she's fine. So there is an angle going into the storyline that AJ Lee is hurt. And they said she suffered whiplash, which is pretty much like if you get into a minor car accident, you hit the car, you move forward, and the immediate stop throws you back, and it puts a big strain on your neck just because of how quick it moves, strains muscles and tendons and things of that nature. But yeah, they're gonna play off of that angle, and it's gonna make AJ look like the underdog heading into SummerSlam and into Raw and SmackDown prior until SummerSlam gets there. But I'm interested to see. I don't understand the injury angle other than billing her as the underdog moving forward. But yeah, I thought it was a cool little segment. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. The match wasn't even a match. It was like, a few seconds. I don't know what happened. Moses Mendes was looking all big, saying that I deserve the Divas Championship. I deserve opportunity. And just AJ was like, yeah, nah, stay in total Divas. I think it was best for you. And she just taps her out, and that was it. And then I think the thing I enjoyed after was, as you said, the segment after when Paige just from behind, when she was going to the ramp, Paige, AJ Lee, she just attacks him from behind, and just pushed that little push. But I guess she sold it well. She did sell it well. AJ.
The intriguing thing, the drawing factor here is Paige is still screaming, "That's my best friend," and careful with my friend, and things of that caliber. And it's like, all right, well, it seems like kind of like a Trish Stratus, Mickie James thing going on.
That's what it reminds me of. Yeah, crazy. She's got that little bit. What's the word?
I don't think it's in a creepy way though. It's more of in.
I can't remember the word. But it'll come to me. But yeah.
Yeah, it's like more in a sarcastic way than anything like that. Mickie James and Trish was a little bit more creepy and bizarre, but it was more of an infatuation with Trish. This is
aggressive
more of
something.
This is more sarcastic and aggressive and full force, full throttle. But we didn't get to see the best match last pay-per-view of Battleground, but I'm sure moving forward it's going to be good. I'm sure they had limitations on that match because they wanted to move forward with something even better. And even though it was a good match, it's going to get even better once it gets personal.
Oh yes, I mean I'm still interested with the feud. Yeah, it didn't deliver Battleground the match. I thought it was going to be match of the year. Proved me wrong, but I think to me I'm definitely for sure that it's not going to be exactly the same at SummerSlam. They'll learn what happened, and they'll see. I'll see that it will deliver definitely.
Yeah.
I'll say that will be. I will say now my prediction that will be the match for the year for the Divas matches over the course of the year. At SummerSlam that will be the match you want to see. So.
Yeah, it has the potential. As far as now, the best Divas match of the year was actually NXT when it was Charlotte versus Natalya.
Yeah.
I thought they exhibited great, scientific, technical wrestling skills and ability, and not only that, they had good cardio. They flowed well. Of course, some might not have seen it. I had a keen eye. Natalya did dictate the pace of the match. She was whispering to Charlotte, telling her what to do, where to be, what spots to do it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take away from what Charlotte did in that match. No matter who told her to do what, she still, completed it on her own. I thought it was a good match of the year, and it's gonna be hard to top, even for Paige and AJ.
Exactly. I mean, not just that. She had good matches, I think, after, even against Bayley. She had one at NXT. She had a pretty good match as well.
I just want to see her feud with Sasha and get the Summer Rae thing over with. Summer Rae did lose to her, as we know, on NXT week prior to this episode. But
yeah, we're gonna bring it back. The NXT review. We are thinking about it.
But do you have any last thoughts on AJ Lee and Paige situation?
I'm just liking the feud. How's it going? Play. I just, Paige has got like a new gimmick now, kind of. It's like, she's aggressive with AJ Lee. Like she's obsessed with her. Like, she wants to keep her like in a lock. One of those lock diaries. Put her in there.
Yeah, she's the anti-diva, and the name suits her very well, and. She ended up skipping away just like AJ does, while AJ Lee actually got carried off on the back of a stretcher with a neck brace.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see how they work that injury and how much of an influence it's going to have in the storyline building into SummerSlam. But any last thoughts before we head forward into the Kane and Seth Rollins versus Ambrose?
Yeah, just one more thing. I wouldn't be surprised if Paige, I don't know if it's going to be next week or something, that she would dress up like AJ Lee. That could happen. I'm just saying.
I'm sure it'll happen. I wouldn't.
There you go.
It's that cliche that they're probably working, and last time we saw that was like a year ago. I'm gonna guess when it was Caitlyn and AJ. I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, something like that. 2 years. It was a
Year and a
year
half,
ago.
maybe.
It was that payback time, wasn't it, or something?
Yeah, so it's like a year, a little more than a year.
Yeah,
But all right,
yeah,
so we'll move forward into the next match. It ended up being Kane and Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose, 2-on-1 handicap match, and Ambrose was really getting beat down for the majority of this match. They were pressing him hard. They were playing smart tag team wrestling. Focusing on keeping him down, not letting him get up and regain. But eventually, it came to the point where Ambrose got that lucky break, and he hit one, he hit the other, he moved, suicide dives. Just all over the
yeah.
literally, just a complete maniac, a lunatic, as people like to label him as. And I think this gimmick really works for him. He's more over than anybody would ever have guessed, and it's awesome. It's humbling to see a guy that came from where he did and creating this, so to speak, magic that he's doing now on television. I honestly thought it was a good match. It did start off a little slow. The beatdown was starting to get quite boring, and they took it a little too far. Not as far as physically, brutalizing him. More of just a slow, boring beatdown in the beginning. But it did pick up. It did get better. I'm pretty sure the outcome of that was Dean Ambrose. They beat Dean Ambrose by DQ because Ambrose hit Kane. That was Ambrose hit Kane. And I'm sure he got Rollins once or twice too, I believe, with the chair.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did do Rollins and Kane. Yeah.
And Rollins ends up actually slipping away. He slips away, gets out of there. But Kane still being in the ring, Ambrose is able to drop a couple more hits on him, give a little bit more damage, show him what he's all about and what he's going to do to Seth Rollins. Just a quick preview of what's going to happen. This guy needs business, and it's going to get more serious. The longer Seth Rollins runs, the worse it's going to get for him. And I really love that. I really love that in wrestling. That's what wrestling's all about, in my opinion. It's just the build-up is great. People are, they're foaming from the mouth to see this match. So ever since Battleground delayed it and postponed it, and it's like, as a fan, it sucks, but it's just going to make it that much better too. So what are your thoughts on that match?
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not really a fan of handicap matches because I know those type of matches are not going to. They're not going to be those good matches, to be honest with you. But I thought this match, as you said, it didn't really start great, but it slowly got better throughout the match. It started to be pretty good. He did Dean Ambrose did one spot, he did the suicide dive to Kane and Seth Rollins at the same time, which was pretty cool. And Kane really most of the time worked on Ambrose's arm throughout the match because Ambrose is not 100%, but still he battled off. He's a lunatic. He reminds me of the Joker, of course. I'm a big fan of his, and he used the steel chair in the end. He's got that aggressive. He knows how to use a steel chair anyway. Back in CW, he knows. He's like ECW at that time. He knows how to do it. And he did the DDT, I think, Kane to the chair or something like that. And, brutal.
That's
loving it. It's good. He sold it well as well. And, I'm looking forward to the match at SummerSlam with Seth Rollins. I think it's a shame we didn't see it at Battleground, but hey, it's going to be in a better pay-per-view, I would say. Better, and it could, like I said, one of those matches could steal the show. And you will look back and you will watch it again and again. That's how it's going to do. I'm telling you now, it's going to deliver. I'll be shocked if it doesn't.
Yeah, it's definitely going to have angles in it. There could be a swerve in it, anything can happen. But when you bring it down to just pure basic wrestling, the overall match quality is going to be awesome to see, and it's not going to be the last time we see it either. So this is just the beginning, really. This is just their first legitimate meeting after Seth Rollins leaving the Shield. So I'm interested to see it. It's really going to be a barn burner. Take a page out of Jim Ross's book, but like you said before, I really love the ring psychology. The last month, they've been working the shit out of Ambrose's arm, whether they're on SmackDown, whether they're on Raw, whether they're on main event. It always plays a tactic in the match. It's always an influence in the matches. Working Dean Ambrose.
It's a heel tactic. Yeah.
Right, and it makes it seem realistic. It's something that Alberto Del Rio does a lot that no one really ever cares to notice or acknowledge him for. And it makes it more realistic. It makes it make sense. He's picking that person apart from that very same limb every single time. Overall, that would make more sense for the guy to go over in the match. It's just like a real fight. So yeah, good ring psychology to say the least. But anything before we move on, Adam?
Uh, no, I think I said. Yeah, go ahead.
We can move forward real quick. I don't know how far into detail you want to go. It's Fandango versus Diego. Of course, we know that Diego
Oh,
gets the win with the distraction because Summer Rae and Layla, they did come out with him as well. He came down the ramp with him during his entrance, and they played a part in the match too. And Fandango losing again. Completely honest, I guess, I was happy when they took Summer Rae and Layla away from him. I knew they were going to play off the story for a little bit and keep it going for about a month or two. We're probably halfway through it, hopefully. Hopefully we're halfway through it. But I always said this was going to be a positive. This is going to be an asset because we're finally going to get to see Fandango run a solo. We saw the retribution he could dish out. We saw how aggressive he was and how much he wants it. So once they put him on that pedestal and he's given the opportunity to go out there and showcase what he could do, which most people don't know what he's capable of, it's going to be a good thing to see, and it's going to prove a lot of people wrong. So, yeah, I don't care for the match. I don't care for the outcome. The only thing I'm worried about is the story and how long it's going to progress before Fandango goes solo and finally gets the chance to prove I'm not going to say he's great, but he's a very solid mid-carder, and he has something to offer this business and the current roster. What do you think, Adam?
yeah, I agree. I think he should be in a better situation. He should be, like I said before, going for the IC belt or United States belt. He's that good. He could even win it. He's good a bit. To me, he's a good mid-carder wrestler. He's got talent. Do I see him main eventer? No, but maybe down the line, maybe. But right now, he's a good mid-card. He's got that talent about him. Sad to see him how, that in my way, I could use the word burial, but he's not getting used right at all. He's losing every week. I thought it was going to be better without Summer Rae and Layla there. I thought, yeah, they're going to change his direction or his character. He's got an aggressive streak. He's going to do it. They're going to let him be more aggressive, angry, and win matches and go from there. But he's losing to people like Diego and Fandango. I don't know the other guy's name. I don't really care about Masadores. They're winning because it's just the storyline with Layla and Summer Rae involved. That's why. It is annoying that how it's going. But hey, Diego won with a backstabber. Like he rarely wins. Okay. That's it. But I really do hope this leads to something. This like a big angle storyline, and it turns around and just maybe drops the whole dance gimmick and say, I had enough of it.
It's a possibility. Who knows how they could repackage him. One thing I gotta say that really definitely hurt Fandango as far as long-term goings are concerned is he debuted at WrestleMania 29. He opened the show with Chris Jericho. He debuted at the pinnacle of other wrestlers' careers, the things they've worked their whole lives for. And I'm not going to take anything away from him, say how hard he worked or how long he worked, but you debuted at WrestleMania. So when you have all this build-up and you have all this hype and people are waiting to see the finished product, it doesn't always live up to what it's supposed to be. Take a page out of John Cena's book, but it doesn't always it doesn't always live up to what it's supposed to be. And that's what happened with Fandango, in my opinion. And it was more or less anticlimactic. It was mediocre of a match. Jericho did his best, and Fandango did too. And I saw the direction they were trying to go in. I liked the idea. I liked the concept of the match. They didn't get out there what they wanted to do. There was little mess ups here and there. Nothing.
The finish as well.
Yeah, the finish was good. Was it sold perfectly? No, but don't let that hinder the overall quality of the match. But it was mediocre. It could have been better, but it was still all right for an opening WrestleMania match. But I think him debuting at WrestleMania and opening the show against a guy like Chris Jericho, a caliber of his talent, the experience he has, and a mile-long resume of things that he's accomplished in his career, it's hard to overcome that. And when he didn't, they kind of put him on the back burner, and he's been there ever since. But he's been fighting to get back up, and he's finally starting to get a little more exposure, a little more TV time, and he's working a stupid program right now, but it's going to build to something better. So I'm interested to see where it goes, and that's all you can really hope for is the best outcomes. So I see Fandango finally getting a chance sooner or later. Same with Sando.
Yeah, I mean Sando's getting the worst treatment as well. He's dressing up every week in some bizarre and stupidity costumes. Where's he going to dress?
it works though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Most people
It does work though.
working. It's working. He's getting TV time out of it, and people are interested. People are laughing, and it might be stupid, but this guy's drawing.
He is. I mean, the crowd giving him a reaction. Yeah, they boo Adam Rose because he beat them was on Raw when he wore the astronaut costume.
Yeah, Houston, we have a problem.
Houston got a Didn't Michael Cole said that before though? It's like, he stole his line. Then.
I believe he did. I believe he did.
Thanks a lot, Cole. But
regardless of the secret city gimmick they put him in, whether it be Abraham Lincoln, whether it be LeBron James, he's a guy. No matter how much you throw him under the bus, how much you knock him down a totem pole, it's not going to stop him. He has passion. He knows what he's capable of. He's going to rise above the ranks. He's going to get back to the top sooner or later. You can't hold him down forever. He's not going to quit. He's not that kind of guy. So it's literally WWE just putting him there just to see how hard he works to get back to the top. Because there's thousands of the guys like you that would fight just as hard or even harder. So they know you're a keeper when you keep pushing like he does. So it'll pay off for him more than ever in the long run.
Oh, for sure. I hopefully, because like I said, he's got talent and he's really good at when he talks on the mic. He's really good and he's comfortable and he makes you interested and he makes you laugh. He knows what. Even I think maybe he could do a face turn, but
yeah.
I mean, he could after all these losses. He might say, "Well, I need to go in a different direction, go a new character." But yeah, I mean, he could have. I think they pushed him too hard when he won the Money in the Bank. I think that was the wrong thing they done. I think they could have gone with somebody else, but hey, it was their fault.
That makes me wonder that you say that. It kind of like sparked a fuse in my brain, and it's like, WWE takes these guys so far, and then they get there, and it's like, what
too fast
now? Because there's no long-term planning involved. So it's like they take this guy to the climax, and it's like, okay, well, he's here. Now what are we going to do with him next? And they don't have anything. Boom, they knock him back down. And, it's very demoralizing to a wrestler because that whole time they're thinking, I'm doing good, I've got this, I'm finally, getting a hang of this, I know what I got to do, I'm evoking a reaction, I'm doing all the right things. And then they get knocked down, and it's like, but why? What did I do wrong?
Yeah.
From their point of view, it's much different than the fans, so you got to take that into consideration, whether you like the guy or not.
Yeah, I mean, he had good matches as well. It didn't make any sense. He had good matches with Cody Rhodes and John Cena. So,
the match cashed in on Cena was great.
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed it.
It was. It really was.
I think the cash was horrible because it gave a chance. I think when Cena was down and the ref wasn't really want to cash in, and then he was outside the ring and they were giving him time, and then they went for a commercial break. And then they continue it. I mean, you don't do that. When Money in the Bank, you don't do that. So anytime, any place, you don't get a break.
That's what adds the stipulation to the match. It's the element of surprise. That's what draws people in so much more than just regular one-on-one matches. It's like, whoa, who knows what's going to happen here?
It would be funny if they ever cash it in on in the parking lot, or
they should.
They should do something like that. Do it different, or outside on the street, like a street fight or something. They could do that, bro.
Cash in on Bray Wyatt in the woods. It could happen anywhere. But before we go ahead.
Now I was gonna say that even if you beat, if you cash it on Bray Wyatt, you never get out the woods with the belt. It's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
You'll be stuck there. You'll be stuck there in a little shed. Round chain and probably with sheep masks around.
Hopefully the guy has his belt with him.
No, but he will think it'll be one of those fake belts. He'll be, oh yeah, I got the belt. Oh shit, it's gone, man.
But any last thoughts for Dolph Ziggler versus Alberto Del Rio?
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
All right, we'll move forward. Our next match coming back from commercial was Dolph Ziggler versus Mexico's greatest export, Alberto Del Rio. Like him or not, he is talented in the ring, and he does have something to offer. Whether he's in a prime feud or not, whether he's on the mid card or lower card, he does have something to offer. But
you already know that.
We know that. It's our opinion, though. You don't have to like it, but it's our opinion. That's what we're here to give. We're here to give our analysis, our opinion. But it was a pretty good match. Would have liked to see it go a little longer. And me and you, Adam, are two guys who both already elaborated on Dolph Ziggler having great chemistry with Alberto Del Rio and vice versa. And I really think they do a good job with each other in the ring, and they could have pay-per-view matches, and it's still interesting no matter what Del Rio lacks in the microphone. Ziggler makes up for that, and vice versa. They're both great in the ring, to say the least. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty good match, good pace. Miz on commentary really didn't help. He was really played a big influence in Ziggler getting lost. He distracted him. He stood up, I believe he stood on the announce table. He started thanking. He forgot to thank on Raw and his acceptance speech. And it's just a whole bunch of hoopla, propaganda nobody really cared about. And I gotta tell you, man, I like movie star Miz. It doesn't bother me at all. And him working a program with Ziggler, I think it'll be good. And Miz's movies and Ziggler slowly starting to build himself back up from the last couple months, almost a year of losses. It's gonna work out great for the two of them. So let's see where it goes. Miz has the strap on his shoulder, so I'm sitting back as a big Ziggler guy, and I'm saying fucking take that title off him. What do you think? But
yeah, you want to punch him in the face.
Cross arm breaker at the end of the match. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I would say that Miz is that type of guy you want to punch in the face 500 times because he's so annoying, but he plays it really well as a heel. You have to say that he's starting to be the Miz of a few years ago, really, that the crowd would give him a reaction, and I feel that he's going to get that back if he's done, because he's developed him again, and this new gimmick of his Hollywood Miz. I think it's working at first. At first, I thought it might not work. Jericho would just give him cold breakers every week. And I was like, oh, okay, but that's it. But he's been that type of heel running away. He doesn't want punched in the face. Typical heel. He's got the strap. He could go away. This is good. This feud with Ziggler, I think it's going to be really good. And if he beats Ziggler, he's going to get that heat again. I think if people will start booing again. Booing out, definitely. If Ziggler don't beat the Miz, he's going to get more heat. So.
What was that last part, dude? I missed you. What was it?
I said that he's going to get, if he beats Ziggler, I don't know, SummerSlam, I don't know, dirty win, he's going to get booed out, he's going to get booed, isn't he? He's going to get a lot of he's going to get a reaction, because everybody wants Ziggler to win and take the belt off of him, and he's like,
And I got to tell you, no matter how mad I was at Ziggler losing, it really proved that was a good angle. You might render it cliche, him hiding outside the ring. We've seen it done before, by guys like Jerry King Lawler. We've seen it done by guys like Vince McMahon, whether it be a Royal Rumble or a Battle Royal. We've seen it done before. Quite cliche, but it worked. And, what did that do? It worked for both guys. Ziggler got more over from it. Well, more over than he already was, a little bit more. Yeah. And Miz got more heat. So you put those two together,
the Miz,
and you have the ultimate combination right there. You have the dude that's so over that never gets a chance against the guy that got an opportunity handed into him, and the fans hate him. Mm-hmm. If that's not good booking, I don't know what is.
Great. Yeah, I agree. I think it's the right way to go. If you don't have anything else for Dolph Ziggler,
right.
At least he's on TV and he's feuding for the IC belt. At least I think he deserves more of that. Better than that, he should be main eventing. I've said that many times. But hey, at least he's got on TV. Doing a storyline with a feud, going for one of the Mick Carter's belts, that's really good. It's looking good, and I'm actually enjoying the feud at the moment.
I just consider the IC title a title in its own. I don't compare it to the US title. I don't compare it to the WWE Championship. It really holds its own significance.
It's the siege,
as far as the litany of wrestlers that have held it and how great they were, the majority of them. Still, Chris Jericho, 9-time Intercontinental Champion, more than everyone ever. Yeah. You got Pat Patterson, who's the first ever Intercontinental Champion. You got guys like the caliber of Mr. Perfect and Randy Macho Man Savage that have held the title. And I really think it's time to bring some prestige back to that belt. And with Prince Devitt coming up and/or Kenta, it's going to be interesting to see if they get that strap on their shoulder in their first year on the main roster.
Could be.
They need some legitimacy brought back to it. And don't get me wrong, Bad News Barrett's great. Miz is pretty good, but when I think IC title, I think pure wrestlers. I think pure talent in general.
But as in they got the whole package?
Exactly. Just the total package,
Yeah.
the it factor. They have it all. They
Yeah.
can contribute to the brand. They can contribute to the business in every aspect, whether it be in or out of the ring.
Mm-hmm. I understand where you're getting from. Yeah.
Barrett has it. We didn't get to see full potential of his reign,
I think he
unfortunately.
did have it. Yeah, I think
But when he does come
that.
back, I hope Ziggler's champion, and we get to see Ziggler Barrett go at it.
Oh yeah,
I think that'd be awesome. I really hope that's what the ultimate build is.
and we saw when they faced each other once before, and it was a really good match as well. It was in I think an IC tournament. I
Dude,
think it was on Raw. That stole the show. Like it was really good.
Best match of the night.
Yeah, hands down. Yeah, like I said, I think I said at the time I would like to see them head to head again in a pay-per-view for the IC belt. So yeah.
That'll be awesome. Oh, dude, I can't lie. Like, I know there's huge Barrett fans. I'm not a huge fan, but I really, really do like the guy. I really do. But yeah, it's gonna be really great to see. Big fans of both of them.
Same, definitely.
But any last thoughts on either of the two, Miz, Del Rio?
Yeah, I didn't really say much about Del Rio, did I?
No, no one ever does.
No, but I did say many times before, he's he can do a great match. He has a great, as I said before, Ziggler and Berta Del Rio always have good matches, so I know that's going to deliver. But as a character, Del Rio's lost in the pack. He needs a new direction, in my opinion. Ricardo Rodriguez is not coming back to manage him. He's now gone, so I don't know what's going to happen. I thought. I think he signed a contract, but we'll see what's going to happen with Berta Del Rio. Do I see him a main eventer? Not really, but mid-Carter going for the IC belt or United States, yeah. But then he needs something. He needs to, because he is boring, I have to say it. But it's just he needs some character. He needs a new direction. I don't know. Maybe he could wear a mask. He used to wear a mask once.
Yeah.
Could do that. Could tweak his look and his character also, and improve on the mic a little bit as well.
I really think he needed Ricardo Rodriguez and to release him, regardless if he's going to be re-signed around SummerSlam time. It's irrelevant. I think they should have just put him back together and ran with it because that's when they were both at their prime.
Yeah.
Besides when Del Rio won the 40-man Royal Rumble, when I say prime, I mean as recently.
Yeah. Definitely. I think they pushed him way too hard. Definitely. He won Royal Rumble, 40 men for the first time.
I gotta tell you,
he won the Money in the Bank and then Hell in a Cell. I think match he won first time.
He's good. He's a pretty good wrestler, man, in the ring. He tells a good story and he has good ring psychology. He has a good flow.
Yeah.
And he really knows what he's doing, and he has an MMA background as well. For most fans who don't know that, but I gotta tell you, no matter how good he is in the ring. Such a boring, anticlimactic personality, but it doesn't take away from his ring work, and it was just weird to see him get so many opportunities for a guy with no charisma whatsoever. We've seen wrestlers in the past come and go because they couldn't do that, and for him to get it all, sure is for the pure fact to appeal to the Spanish population, to the Mexican people.
Mm-hmm. I think because maybe they wanted the direction, the audience in Mexico, they wanted to, because Rey Mysterio is he's going to retire eventually.
Yeah. Apparently, he hasn't been cashing his paychecks either, so that's a good way to get out of a contract and not get hurt or penalized.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how long his contract is. Is it expiring soon, or they said they're gonna?
They renewed it. They renewed his contract.
1 year. I think it's 1 year.
Checks. Because if he cashes that check, then he needs to come back to work eventually. And if he doesn't, then he's going to, breach a contract. You didn't fill your contractual obligations.
Yeah.
You get into all the fucking bullshit politics, and no one cares about that. We love wrestling. That's what this is about.
Yeah, it's not politics. This is wrestling. It really is.
No, I get sick of seeing podcasts, and they go out there and they're just talking about completely pure business aspects. And yes, it does matter. Of course, it fucking matters.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck? We're here to watch wrestling. We're not here to talk business. We're here to talk about who won. We're here to talk about who's moving forward. And yeah, business does play a part in that, but it doesn't play a big enough part for us to be concerned about it.
Exactly. It's their jobs to worry about, not us fans to worry about at all. We're not working for them. We're there to watch their product.
if it's a serious
give our
situation,
opinion.
like for instance, TNA and Spike, so far they haven't renewed TNA's, TV contract. That's okay. Yeah, I'll talk about that. But there's no reason to be throwing ratings out there and bullshit like that all the time. You're not an expert. You're not a. You're just a critic. You're you might sound good. You might throw good terminology out there, but you don't know what the fuck's going on internally within the business. So it's just a waste of time. It really is. You're just trying to toot your own horn.
They think they know it all by they know the backstage stuff behind the scenes with TNL, WWE. Oh, I know what's going on there. Yeah, and because they see the dirt sheets, not always the dirt sheets are right about it.
And it blows my mind away because it's like, buddy, everyone's read the same thing you did. Fucking majority of fans do read the dirt sheets, except for the casual viewers and fans.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna go into detail about it. It's just one thing, kind of grinds my gears here and there, but. Any last thoughts before we move into the main event?
No, just continue to just carry on. Move on to the last thing.
Well, if you like to talk business, go ahead, talk business. It's just not my cup of tea. But we head into the main event. It's Eric Rowan versus Chris Jericho. Stipulation being, if Chris Jericho is able to defeat Eric Rowan, then he will be banned from ringside at SummerSlam. Eventually, throughout the match, Luke Harper, playing too much of an influence, ends up getting banned from ringside, and that ultimately led to Chris Jericho defeating him with a code breaker. So as of now, we know Eric Rowan won't be at ringside. Only person Bray Wyatt will have at ringside along with him will be Luke Harper. And building up to that match, I think they might eliminate him from it too and just have it be a fair one-on-one match for the first time. And I think it'd be a great idea and a great time, perfect timing actually, for Bray Wyatt to go over solo and bring a little bit of credibility back to the Eater of Worlds. But some people speculate it could have been part of the Dark main event once Bray Wyatt did attack Chris Jericho at the end, but no one's really sure yet. But it was a long match. It went to 2 commercial breaks. I believe it was probably like 16 minutes overall. But yeah, it was a decent match. Happy to see Rowan won't be at ringside. As much as I like Rowan and Harper, hopefully we build to Harper not being at ringside either. But yeah, it was a good match. I enjoyed it for the most part. SmackDown, it was a little above mediocre. I thought it was pretty good for free television. I'll give it a 7 3/4. 7 3/4, 7.5 is a fair grade in my opinion. What did you think of the main event, and what did you think of the overall quality of the show?
The main event, I thought, it in a way it did deliver. I thought it was a good match. He did, be fair to Eric Rowan, he did put good match. He's improved in months. He hasn't been, when he first got called up a year ago, he was green and couldn't do. He was just that guy over there. He wasn't, stand out on Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper. He was just that guy.
He's just a pawn.
Yeah. But it delivered. Jericho won. I think I knew that was coming, but he won. That means Eric Rowan's banned from ringside at SummerSlam. I thought maybe they will add Luke Harper as well to that as well, not just have one guy. But I guess maybe they're doing that next week on Raw. Maybe they have Jericho versus Luke Harper, and then Jericho will beat Luke Harper, and then it will be a one-on-one match. Bray Wyatt versus Chris Jericho at SummerSlam, which is good, all good, which I would like to see. Maybe add something to the match, not just a normal match. But I don't know, I'd like to see Hell in a Cell, but that's probably not going to happen. But yeah, I thought it was a good main event. Yeah, he had to kick the cold breaker for the win. Yeah, and about SmackDown itself, it wasn't great. As you said, it was free TV. Yeah, of course, it's nice to see it was free TV. But SmackDown, overall, I'm going to give it 6.5. It's decent. It was a decent show, but it could still have been better. I'm being fair, 6.5, but hopefully next, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure there's fans out there that would give it an 8.5, 9, and I'm sure there's fans out there that would give it a 4. Everyone has their own. Yeah. It's based, specifically on what you like. That's why fans watch our show. They don't watch it to hear the truth. They don't watch it to hear false information. They watch it just to hear our opinions and what we have to say and what we think is going to happen. And that's what wrestling is about. Is just enjoying it with one another.
Voice your opinion.
Exactly. And wrestling debates these days just turn into complete arguments, and I find it completely ridiculous. And it's very rare where you find a level-headed person that you could actually sit down and talk wrestling with, and whether you agree or not, still be on the same page.
Yeah, I don't like, I don't deal with that drama. I just want to talk about wrestling. Yeah, we're not gonna agree on everything on the wrestling topic. No, that's just gonna be boring. But
Right.
there's gonna be agreements. But just by disagreeing and start saying you're a hater, or because you don't like this guy, because that means, yeah, I don't like that guy, but it doesn't mean I hate the guy. You know what I mean? I just don't like maybe his character, but I do respect him and like what he does. But yeah, it doesn't mean I'm a hater. It doesn't mean I don't know about wrestling either. It kind of bothers me a little bit when they say that, but I ignore it. I don't have time for those people, those fans. I'm not gonna fight with them. I'm just gonna leave it to go. Like, next time, I won't talk to them. I won't listen to them. I'll just leave it. Yeah.
Right.
There's no point. But,
yeah, you really are just wasting your own time. But at the end of the day, you might be arguing with someone online about this, you might be arguing about that, whatever it is, regardless of anything, Once your favorite wrestler comes out, or that segment happens, or that moment happens, it just completely is blocked out of your memory, and all you care about is wrestling. And,
yeah.
In my opinion, did the internet enhance wrestling? Absolutely. Did it destroy it in a sense? I think it did. It does have a lot of negativity on top of positivity, It has its good things, and it also has, its bad things. But I really love how Triple H has been doing with the business. I really love how he's been embracing the IWC. And because at the end of the day, it's, you heard what Triple H said about us, you hear what he said about this or that, it's going to make people feel it. And it's going to keep a longer viewer duration. It's going to appeal to a better demographic. And, people that are like, oh, I haven't watched in like 3 months, and it's like, well, he embraces the IWC, and he says this, he says that, and he kind of trolls us back. In a sense, he's kind of on our side. Great things. He's been giving us very great things. And if you think Triple H is a bad COO, you have absolutely no idea what he has done in the last 2 or 3 years. He has done so much. And I'll tell you right now, if him and Stephanie didn't have any control whatsoever, and it was Vince, it'd be very cliche, it'd be very dull, and it'd be very similar to what we were seeing the prior months following up to WrestleMania 30. And it was just, even as a loyal fan, it was so hard to stay in touch, and it was so hard to sit through the programming. And I got to tell you, man, the fallout from WrestleMania 30 till now, has it been perfect? Absolutely not. It never will be. But they've done so many great things.
Good. He said that this year Triple H said, I think when he does those interviews every week on Wednesday with Michael Cole, he said that this year is going to be epic. Has it been epic? I wouldn't say the word epic, but it's been pretty good. It's been very good. Obviously, with everything what happened with the WrestleMania, with the streak ending, and Daniel Bryan finally win the belts and stuff like that. Brock Lesnar obviously come back again. Going to face Cena at SummerSlam. That's going to be big. So, yeah, I mean, he's done well. Yeah, he's done well with not just that. He's just done well with NXT. How he's made that as a roster, and the talent there, and the Perform Center, and you just will have to respect what he's done. And as you said, Vince McMahon, he's living he's lost touch a little bit with wrestling. He's living like in the past, maybe because his age is getting. He's just that's why I think a little bit he needs to take a seat back. I think it's sooner or later he should retire and let Triple H maybe have full control with Stephanie.
It needs to evolve beyond Vince, because if it can't, then it won't.
I mean, I would have Shane as well, a little bit involvement as well. I don't know what he does these days, but
he's actually chief operating officer or a chief executive. He's a CEO, chief executive officer at a big computer company. Like, he has done so well for himself and pioneered his own path, and very, very humbling to say the least, after following in the footsteps of your father, who's Vincent Kennedy McMahon. So I'm very happy for him.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, he's done well without his dad. So I mean, wasn't he in China? He was doing China stuff, but yeah.
He's somewhere. He's out there. He's Singapore, Japan. I don't know where the fuck he is, but he's in the Goonies, somewhere near the Wyatt family's house. I'll tell you that.
Probably that's his next mission.
Even like you guys, I know a lot of fans have watched this. Some are negative against TNA. They don't like the product. Some embrace it. But I gotta tell you, if you haven't seen it, go back, watch this Thursday's Destination X. I'll tell you, the first two matches were great. The opening match, I believe, was the Hardys versus the Wolves for the tag team titles. And the second match was actually, wow, what was the second match? DJ Zima Ion, I believe, versus Low Key. I can't even remember. The first two matches were just completely epic, though. And if you guys haven't seen Destination X, go back and watch it, because TNA is really starting to deliver, and they flipped the script, and they're on the right path. And I got to tell you, when I saw Destination X, the first hour and a half of it, I was so into, and I knew the outcome of the last match, so I didn't watch it. But the whole first hour and a half, and it reminded me of why I'm a wrestling fan. What I really love is just pure wrestling. Yeah, I like the entertainment, don't get me wrong, who doesn't? But pure wrestling is what I love.
Definitely, yeah. It's good to have. It's most focused on. We should be focused on wrestling more. But yeah, it's nice to have that. The entertainment value of it as well to add to it. But mostly it should be more to the wrestling. But yeah, I mean, I didn't watch TNA because we watched it Sunday. Yeah, so I have to see tomorrow how it plays out. I know a lot within the week that a lot of people say, "Oh, TNA was great," on Thursday, But I will see. They said that the Hardys versus the Wolves match was probably the best tag team match of the year, apparently. So I'm definitely going to see how that was. So, yeah, and Low Key's back at TNA. That's really good. So.
Fucking love Low Key. One of the most underrated.
I don't like his attitude, but I do like him as a.
No one likes his attitude, but at the same time, as a fan, you kind of do.
Yeah, I mean, he's got that. It's good to have that attitude one and that aggressive. As I said,
but you gotta know when to turn it down.
Yeah, don't do it too much. No, it's just because it gets you in trouble. So.
But yeah,
that's TNA. This is. We get back to SmackDown.
Yeah, we covered SmackDown. We humbled and jumbled. We talked a little bit here and there. Any last thoughts before we close up tonight?
No, I think just looking forward to SummerSlam, and it's going to be big. Man. Definitely, it's going to be big. And say goodbye to Ricardo Rodriguez because he's now left. If you haven't known already, he's now not in WWE anymore. He wanted to go. So.
Yeah, but wrestling fans, there's a lot of good things coming up. We got SummerSlam coming up. We got Japan's next pay-per-view coming up. We got September Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor. So it's heating up in the wrestling world. A lot of good things going on. Pro Wrestling Guerrilla's coming back in 2 months. It's just a litany of different promotions just putting out some of their best pay-per-view works. Their marquee pay-per-views or pay-per-views of the year. So you should definitely be checking everything out. But
definitely.
Before we close the show, let Adam give himself a shout out. Fans, let him know who he is. Captain Awesome.
Yeah, Captain. Yeah, that's right. You can follow me, of course, at Captain3Awesome on Twitter if you're any fans. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the show and subscribe to us. I just want to say a quick thank you for the new recent subscribers. We do appreciate what you subscribe to us, and hopefully we can build up. And you even can leave your feedback, comment, our videos and say what you want to say. We like to hear, I like to hear what you said about what you think of my last video when I host the show, aka the Bad Guy, Captain Awesome, aka Razor Ramon. But yeah, you might see something different next time. You just tell me what you thought of it, and we'll see what happens. But yeah. Give it back to Paul. Go ahead.
First, sure, guys. Make sure you guys check out Captain3Awesome on Twitter. But just like you said, Adam, thank you so much to the new subscribers that have joined the crew. We're happy to hear your feedback from you, whether it be positive or negative. You think there's something we should work on, or something we did wrong, or maybe a fact that we mentioned improperly. Just let us know. Give us some feedback. Anything you guys want us to work on, we're more than happy to do it for you. Once again, thank you for being part of the team. Make sure you guys join us on Facebook. Join the group, like our page, Podcast Wrestling Fallout. Follow us on Twitter at PWF is War. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube, Podcast Wrestling Fallout. From the Arabian Wolf, from Captain3Awesome, from Captain Awesome, from the Arabian Wolf. We're out. PWF is War. Bullet Club. Bitches.